Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Retrospective here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where my guests and I each pick a film related in some shape or form. And hopefully, by the end of this episode, you have two films to go check out. And joining me, because it is the special fifth Thursday of the month, it is my buddy Adam. Adam, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks as always for having me. Excited about these ones.
Yep. And Adam is part of the crew. Um,
Yes.
with his own shows, part of the ship, part of the crew. But we're going to be talking about the God's gift to women, the true Adonis, Clint Eastwood,
Yes.
um, as he's perceived in these movies.
The Monica
Basically,
Bellucci of actors.
there you go. And we're going to be talking about his directorial debut thriller, Play Misty for Me from 1971, and another film that he had come out in 1971 that he did not direct, but he was very closely involved, is The Beguiled.
Hmm.
So let's start with Play Misty for Me. The life of a disc jockey is turned upside down after a romantic encounter with an obsessed fan. And this is indeed directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood, and starring Jessica Walter. It is Mallory Archer herself, and also, obviously, Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development.
Yes.
So,
I didn't, mate. How did I not notice that? I feel stupid. It
and
is. You're so right.
this is why we can't have nice things. This is how you get
Yeah.
ants.
My goodness. I have to look that back up.
I remember when I watched this for the first time, and I'm like, wait a minute. This very attractive, crazy woman sounds just like Mallory from Archer. And it is indeed
Yes.
Jessica Walter. So,
Yeah. That's blown me away. I did not
yep,
unrecognizable to me because I've watched Arrested Development billions of times. Like I love
yep,
that show. That's really blown my mind.
there you go. Now that your mind is blown, Adam, what are your thoughts on Play Misty for Me?
Um, my thoughts on playing Misty for me. It's good. Like you can't help but compare it to those 80s infiltrator women thrillers like Fatal Attraction or something, right?
Yep,
It's very much a prototype for that type of film.
yep.
Um, yeah, as you kind of alluded to at the start, like both of these films have the running theme that Clint Eastwood is God's gift. Like he's
He's an Adonis, Adam. We just
the
have to
most,
admit
yeah, the most
it.
desirable guy on the planet. Completely, women are just smitten for him for no reason whatsoever.
um, I'm gonna confirm something, Adam. I talked to my mother.
Oh, okay.
You will know that Clint Eastwood
Really?
was the tits.
Was he? Well,
Yes.
he's not an ugly guy. He's obviously not an ugly man.
Well,
But
haven't you
still,
heard the discourse of traditionalists who are so pissed off that like today's like male actor
yeah.
prototype is Timothy Chalamet, a small twink of a man,
Oh,
instead of like real men
yeah.
like Clint Eastwood?
The teen girls do love Timmy though. It's
They
weird. My
do.
daughter loves him. My daughter loves him. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, there is no more men in Hollywood. Like you had Robert Redford, Paul Newman around that time, and
Mm-mm.
a bunch of others. Gene Hackman, obviously, I don't think he's kind of the sex symbol, but you
No.
know what I mean, yeah. I mean,
But
what do you have today? You have Gosling and Reynolds, anyone called Ryan, I suppose. Hugh Jackman, maybe.
Ryan's, all those Canadians, Canadian
And
Ryans,
Australians.
and Chris's.
Yes. Yeah, all the Chris's, yeah.
I You all can't see this, but I basically have the hair of Chris Evans from The Gray Man right now. Um,
Mm. Mm.
which is not a great look. It's for a costume, but Clint Eastwood, Squint Eastwood, if you will,
Mm.
was indeed a
Mm.
sex symbol at that point in time. But let's just remember, so was Jack Nicholson. Uh, Jack Nicholson was like
Yeah.
sexy, kind of crazy though.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
but Clint was like my mom was a fan of Clint Eastwood ever going back to like Rawhide. when he was
Hmm.
like super young. But no,
Right.
at this point, Clint Eastwood has been an actor for like 20 years and taken the reins as a director, and indeed
Mm.
made his character Dave the most desirable man in this coastal town, this disc jockey, that to a point where he does have
It's
this woman, Donna Mills' character, who he's keep trying to get back with. And then of
mm,
course
mm,
Evelyn, the crazy lady.
mm.
Don't call me crazy. Jessica Walter's character. So
Oh man, that's amazing. I have to go back and watch that just to yeah, anyway. But yeah, he's a bit of an idiot too, right? Like you can tell from the outset that this woman is crazy. She's loopy in the head, but he still decides to sleep with her. And again, like he leads her on, even it's
well,
it's it's
Adam,
it's
like the greatest pitfall of any male, when you start
yes.
thinking
When you lead
with
with your dick, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that is the moral of the story is don't think with your dick so much and you won't wind up with a
Absolutely.
serial killer. So
Absolutely. This is a really good cautionary tale about how to recognize red flags, I think. Because they're everywhere. From the get-go, they're everywhere. Like she's stalking him from the start, and he
yeah,
knows that because yeah, she called it's very
he shows up with groceries
very
the
weird.
next morning and
Yes.
he's just
Yeah.
like next time wait for me to reach out and say hey you want
Yeah.
to come over
Yeah.
in that very
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood kind of way. It's just like
Yeah.
lady come on but you're gonna make
Like
me
because I'm
food
so
and we're
desirable, whenever I call, you'll be there. Like you'll want to be here. Like
that is
it's
indeed an assumption that Dave has in
absolutely.
this movie
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
He knows he is fully aware of the effect that he has on women in this town because
Yeah.
he has that Clint Eastwood voice on the radio. Um, and it's just
Mm.
like it's 100% woman magnet.
I think
So
I think he's look, this is a running theme in Eastwood's all of his kind of directed films where he is the God's gift and like I was going to make like a Harry Potter crossover joke like his dick must be made out of elm and dragon heartstring or something because it's just magic obviously for having these women just wanting to keep coming back.
but like so obviously this is his first film directing and you could 100% tell that
Hmm.
he got so much of his directorial voice from Don Siegel,
Yeah.
who directed The
Yep.
Beguiled, who directed
Hmm.
Dirty Harry, which we'll talk about in
Hmm.
a minute with The Beguiled, because this is one of those pot boiler kinds of thrillers. I do
Hmm.
feel like there's moments where it really loses its edge. Like when this goes full blown like cheesy romance with
Yeah.
Toby,
Hmm.
and where it's like them like walking together and it's just like this cheesy romantic music, how it's shot gives us like when did we drop into like a 70s romance?
I do want to talk about the music in particular because the music does not suit this movie at all. It's really out of place. It sounds like an 80s raunchy comedy, the music in this.
I just
And sorry, you were talking about what gets takes you out, and that just really took me out of the film where it
mm.
goes a bit silly with its music. Anyway, sorry.
Well, and it's so funny because it goes full blown into this cheesy romantic like vibe. So all of a sudden, camera pans over and you just have Evelyn standing there like,
Mm,
and it's like
mm.
they should have at least dropped the like some kind of like really like eerie music comes on and she's just
Bit of
standing there.
Morricone in there.
And it just this when this film is focusing on being a thriller, I think it's better. This whole entire
Yes.
subplot with him and this other woman that he really wants to be with just comes
Yeah.
off kind of cheesy and not particularly interesting. But then you got to set up the fact that like Evelyn
Yes.
needs another woman to try to murder
Absolutely.
by the
Yeah.
end of the movie,
Huge
which
jealousy fuel.
yes, and the fact that she is the surprise new roommate is the most
Yeah. Yeah.
unsurprising twist possible.
Anna, Annabelle.
And
and when she bring up, I said, "Don't drink that tea. Just don't drink that tea." When she
don't
brings
do
it
it.
out,
Get
yeah,
out.
yep,
And like the climax is pretty tense when he gets
mm,
to the house, the lights are off, and it comes to the head with that like pretty shocking and brutal, resolution to how this
yes,
all ended.
mm,
And this is
yeah,
indeed that like prototype to so many erotic thrillers that come after
yeah,
this. Um, where the age-old women helping women is the
hmm,
opposite, women hating women.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
like that's the vibe that you get
It's
with
kind of the
Evelyn. Where
reality of it, though, right? Women generally do hate women. Sorry to say.
well,
Um,
when it comes to Clint Eastwood being in the middle, of course women are going to hate women because how can they possibly resist that?
yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And like
every
this is not a big lift from an acting standpoint for Clint Eastwood.
no,
It's
no,
pretty
there's nothing
low
stressful.
key, kind of
Yeah,
chill performance,
mm.
except when he's like, "What are you doing?" And he just like gets a little bit intense at points. I do think Jessica Walter stands out a lot. She plays crazed woman well. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Like I said, unrecognizable to me. Like I did not pick that up.
because like I feel like she's the highlight of this movie,
Definitely.
like
Yeah.
easily. And I've watched a lot of Clint Eastwood movies, like a lot of
Hmm.
them. I've watched the vast majority of the films that he's directed, and I do love him as a director. I think
Hmm.
this is a rock solid directorial debut. Started off with
Yeah.
something simple, um, delivered on it,
Hmm.
got to stroke his own ego a little bit, and
Yes.
call it a day.
Yeah. Call it a day. When you talked about the resolution, I did one of my notes is that because the last episode we recorded Con Air and we're laughing about how John Malkovich dies in Con Air. The resolution, are we spoiling these
Yeah.
movies? Yeah. So the death in this, like he punches her in the face and she goes over the cliff, equally as funny. After everything in the movie, it
Well,
just broke so much tension, and I was just cackling, like, this is great. Like how it's really
and
bizarre.
you're half expecting a shot to be like, there's no body down there, but no, there is
Yeah.
indeed a body on the rocks, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh damn, she's dead.
Yeah. After everything they've
This
gone
is
through, it's
over.
just so quick and over, right? I mean, there's a struggle, but there's no massive elongated struggle. It's just a quick punch in the face. See you later, and it's over.
But
Yeah, really good.
to be fair, it is Clint Eastwood we're talking about,
Yep.
and Clint Eastwood's like twice the size of Jessica
Yeah.
Walter. I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna end well for her.
No. No.
And I do, like I mentioned, I do like the nice buildup of tension to the moment, but yeah, it's over
Mm.
quick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is like classic 70s movie. It's over.
Hmm.
What happened
Yes.
happened. She's
Yes.
dead. They're together. Boom. Credits. Out of here.
Absolutely. No epilogue. I love that. Yeah.
We don't need anything else.
No.
Evelyn's dead, and Dave and Toby are together. It's like, what else do you need? There's
Happily
no
ever
more
after.
explanation.
Mm.
No more explanation
Absolutely.
here. But Adam, do you have any other thoughts before we wrap up talking about Play
No.
Misty for me?
No, other than the fact I did really like it. Some of the comments I've made probably sounds like I didn't like it, but I do. Like it's well worth watching. It was a lot of fun. Like you said, it's a good prototype, and especially for its time, I'm not aware of many other thrillers like this around that time, that era of film. Yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a prototype. I'm just rambling now.
Well,
Watch
there you
it.
go. Watch
Yeah.
it. Next up, we also have a 1971 film from Clint Eastwood, but this one's directed by Don Siegel, his frequent collaborator, and this is The Beguiled, also remade by Sofia Coppola.
Mm.
Um was that back in 2017? I think that was
Yes, it is. Yeah.
2017 with Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst, and Colin Farrell
Mm.
as John McBurney. But here we have Clint Eastwood. as John McBurney, Geraldine Page as Martha. And this tells the story of while recuperating in a Confederate girls' boarding school, a Union soldier cons his way into each of the lonely women's hearts, causing them to turn on each other and even and eventually on him. And
Mm,
when they say in each of the lonely women's hearts, they mean each of them, and it doesn't matter the age. Um,
mm,
because
mm.
let
Mate,
let's get started with the fact that John McBurney is a bastard. This man
yes.
is a piece of shit. And Clint
I
Eastwood plays it perfect.
Yeah, he's a sheep in wolf's clothing, that is for sure. And again, I've got very little notes on this because a lot of the time I was watching this whole film to me is just it's a weird film.
It
I've
is.
not seen this. I've not seen the Coppola one. And I really want to watch it because I do love Colin Farrell. Um, but my very first note, because it's really early, is that you're old enough for kisses, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like this girl's 12 at most, like. And it's not like it's a pat, like a full-on pash or a snog. Like it's just a kind of a peck on the lips, but it's still fucking. And it's again, this is another infiltrator movie. Like he infiltrates this
Yeah.
school, really just to look after himself.
Yes.
Obviously, he's what do they call them? Confederates and what? Yankees. He's a Yankee,
Yes, he is a
courting
Union
courting
soldier.
enemy land. Yeah.
This
Um,
movie giving the North a bad name. Um,
Yes, yeah, yeah. Didn't I say that at the very start when they were carrying him in, like you can tell he's a Yankee if you pull down his pants and said, "Well, because they've all got tails." Because that was obviously the propaganda. Did you hear that? Recognize it at the start when the girl said that?
it's like, wow, propaganda in American politics back in the 1860s.
Yeah,
Not much
some
different
things
than
never
today.
change. Some things never
So,
change. Yeah.
this is a fascinating film.
Mm.
And it is a very different vibe than the Coppola film, as you could probably imagine. That Sofia Coppola is
Yeah.
not going to take the same approach as
Hmm.
provocateur Don Siegel. Um, because like Don Siegel had been making like he made the 50s Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So like he had been directing back in the
Mm.
50s. But it's Dirty Harry and stuff like this that is so raw and visceral. And this is
Hmm.
where Clint Eastwood gets a lot of his directorial vision from is Don Siegel.
Hmm.
And it is visceral, it's brutal. This movie does not pull punches. Like the editing
No.
and the cinematography is very like in your face. I
Mm.
love an editing moment where he's describing how he got into the situation that he was in, but then it keeps cutting to what actually happened, which is the complete opposite of what he was saying.
Mm.
And that whole scene just really captures who John McBurney is. He is a
Yeah.
grifter. He is
Yes.
trying to get through this. And yes, he will go as far as trying to seduce a little girl and
Not trying, he does.
tricking her into thinking that he's in love with her. And
Yeah.
this poor little girl buys into it because it's a bunch of poor, lonely girls in this boarding school in the middle
Mm.
of this plantation in the South. And you have the older young woman of the group who's helping
Yeah.
out, who is just desperate to get out of there, and he plays on her. And then he plays on the teacher, Martha, the whole situation too, which
Yeah.
if this movie wasn't weird enough when Clint Eastwood kisses like a 12-year-old girl, when they reveal that Martha had an incestuous relationship with her brother, I'm just like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
whoa, like
Yeah.
taboo city.
It's it's a wild film, man. It's
Yep.
I don't know if it's normal for its time, but yeah, it's a wild movie.
Well, this was late 60s, early 70s, where
Mm.
filmmakers were really pushing buttons and looking at the much
Yeah.
darker, seedier side of humanity. And
Hmm.
there's very few films that I would say is as 70s as The Beguiled. Because, like,
Yeah.
this does not shy away from highlighting the dark, twisted nature of humanity
Mm.
and where we can go. Because McBurney is somebody who pries upon the insecurities of people and plays with them. He's even a little
Yeah.
flirty with their slave
Yes. Yeah,
and
definitely.
playing that up too.
Yep.
And but he is real quick to become vicious and venomous. Like
Yes.
him chucking the turtle, him throwing hate speech at this black woman later in the film
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
he's no longer going to be helpful for him.
Yep. Yep.
And the performance that Clint Eastwood gives in this is really impressive because he goes from snake charmer to
Mm.
a vile, angry person so quickly and
Mm.
so smoothly. I'm just like, damn, Clint, you have some dark side, do you?
Is that once the leg was cut off or before the leg was cut off when he,
I think it was starting come out, but
yeah,
oh, the second the leg was off, all
yeah,
bets were off. And
absolutely.
there's very few actors that are as intimidating as Clint Eastwood can
Mm.
be
Mm-hmm.
because he is a big man and he has an
Mm-hmm.
intensity about him. And like so many of his roles are like the quiet,
Yes.
intense, steely type,
100%.
like the
Gran
man with no
Torino.
name, Gran
Yep.
Torino. And here it's no, he goes full blown like he's talking through his teeth like this in this
Mm.
really uncomfortable, like scary kind of way. And you're just like,
Mm.
oh man.
Yeah.
And this film is, I appreciate the boldness of this film to explore the darkness of people who take advantage of people's insecurities and things that they're lacking. Because these young women are lonely,
Yeah.
repressed,
Mm-hmm.
and he knows how to play them.
He's manipulative, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
he's a con man, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of basically what it boils down to, and that's not revealed for quite a while because you do think watching the film, especially the first half at least, you think he's just a riz master, right? Like he's just
Yeah.
got all of these women on the hook easily, like, and they're all falling for it. And then that, yeah, like you're saying, that when it turns, and he is a piece of shit, to be
Mhm.
honest. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no bones about it. This man is a piece of shit.
yeah.
And he's a horrible human being. And
Mm.
this chess match that's happening throughout this whole entire film between him and Martha is fascinating because
Mm.
she's suspicious of him, and it takes her a long time to even get even a little bit caught up in what he's selling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like she also has this guilt, which that the whole other layer that she is still in love with her dead brother is such an interesting choice. Like it's
I
one
know.
thing to have like a dead lover that you're
Mm.
like that's an interesting thing where it's like he's still so attached to this dead lover, but we don't we don't want her to fall in love with him because he's not a good guy. But he
Mm.
knows that this is a vulnerable woman that he's trying to manipulate. And this is a cold movie because
Yes.
it by the end when they finally poison him
Mm-hmm.
and end this whole entire thing and bury him, it's just
Yep.
like, damn, he had it
Mm.
coming. This felt like Cell Block Tango. By the end, it's like he had it coming.
Yeah. I love how they just kind of get rid of him like it never happened too. Like
Mhm.
because those other soldiers came around when they were
Yeah.
hiding, like the actual Confederate soldiers, and their intentions were very clear. They wanted to stay there to rape these women, right? Or maybe not rape them, but try and at least have sex with them. Um, Maybe consensually, I don't know. But that was a pretty intense scene, and that was when they were still looking up to him as like a savior type of thing, right?
Mm.
Um, I can't remember the path I was. Oh, so what I was saying is, so they never knew he was there. So the fact that they've just buried him, like, it's basically like this guy didn't exist anymore. He's just going to be one of those. numbers missing in action type of people
Yeah,
in the end. So this whole story of him is washed from history because these girls will never speak of it again, right? Like I
yeah.
said, they poisoned him, buried him, chapter's over. I'm not sure how accurate this is because it is based on a book. I did read that the Coppola version in 2017 is more closely aligned to the book, so I will be keen to see that. I'm gonna look it up.
Because I own both of these.
Okay.
Because I really love both of them for very different reasons.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's a lot more ambiguity in the Coppola version about
Right.
what his real intentions are.
Okay.
And I think that Colin Farrell is the right actor to play with that ambiguity.
Ah, cool. I like that.
Clint Eastwood is not the kind of actor that's going to be playing with that ambiguity very well.
Mm,
Like, I
yeah.
think that this is the perfect approach to the story that they were trying to tell of this con man trying to grift. And the cast is fantastic too, in that because it's Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst. I think some of the younger actors are some familiar faces too. But like Colin Farrell brings a very different kind of vibe than Clint Eastwood does. And also it's a gorgeous film because like Sofia Coppola
Yeah,
has such a
Coppola.
great
Yeah.
eye. This is
Yes.
not a gorgeous looking film. This is down and dirty
It's
and
gritty.
gritty. Yep.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
there's few directors from the 70s, Siegel and Eastwood, that can get that down, dirty, gritty kind of feel quite like they do. Because like Dirty Harry's the
Yeah.
same exact way, where it's just like
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
there's just a raw intensity about it. This is a film that I respect a lot, but I could also see why a lot of people wouldn't want to watch this movie because this is not a fun time. This is going to really push a lot of buttons because it is a film that challenges the audience with all these taboo aspects of it. But
Absolutely.
I appreciate it being a film that's willing to point out that people are like this.
Yeah.
Like there are, desperate young girls, like how so many young girls are raised to like look out for this man that's going to be their protector and everything. And it's
Hmm.
so disgusting that Clint Eastwood's character pries upon that idea in a 12-year-old's head
Yeah.
and manipulates her with that. I'm just like, damn, from the
It-
start, because that's the
yeah.
first girl he meets.
Well, yeah, yeah, it is. And talking about like from the previous movie, how to recognize red flags, like I mean, straight away, this guy's I'm not picking up on that until too late because even at the start, you just think he's a creep or he's just doing this for survival. Um, but in the end, yeah, he's a nasty, nasty man, right? Like he's because you kind of even the movie kind of makes you think you're on his side because he's injured. These ladies have
Yeah,
taken him in. You just think and obviously because he is a Union soldier, he's on the
yes.
right side of history, right? You wouldn't think of him being the bad guy. But here we are. He's worse than the bad guy.
He is the worst of guys for sure.
Mm, mm.
But I guess, Adam, do you have anything else that you wanted to add about the Beguiled?
No, again, just to say, I didn't like this one as much as I liked Play Misty for me, but still worth checking out. Still really good. And this probably was something I'll watch later down the track. If it ever got a 4K release, I'd probably pick it up and rewatch it for sure. Um,
I would like to see this because I have this on. I do have this on Blu-ray. It's funny because I have
okay.
this one on Blu-ray, but then I have the newer one on DVD. And it's funny because the newer one's a much nicer looking film.
Mm.
But
Yeah, I'm currently looking them up. I don't own them at all, but I'd like to.
yeah, I'm being a bit choosy with my upgrades. I've upgraded
Yes.
both Amadeus and American
Hmm.
Psycho as I've been going through my collection because
Yeah.
they're two old DVDs that I'm like need to freshen this up a little bit.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but Adam, thank you as always for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Always a pleasure, man. Love chatting movies with you.
And Adam will be back here on the retrospective with the month of January, which will be another 5 week month. So look forward to that.
Well,
And next week, we're starting off November with The Warriors and Escape from New York
ooh,
with my wife, Jess. So
nice.
I'm going to get a little roguish in New York City. But thank you all for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite of Clint Eastwood's? Two questions. What's your favorite Clint Eastwood directed film? And what's your favorite Clint Eastwood performance? A couple interesting things to think about. And make sure to
Mm,
follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. We have so many great shows, whether they're hosted by Adam, myself, our buddy
mhm.
Luke, our fearless leader Mike Hilty, or plenty other people here, part of the crew, whether it's movies, television, sports, Tolkien, trivia, all different types of stuff to pique your fancy. And if you want to join the crew, whether as a guest on one of these shows or start your own podcast idea, make sure to reach out to us on our website. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Retrospective here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.